All right, so let's have a look here and talk about how to actually do this. So the build out, let's use the FastStart. You can do it in the library, but I'm beginning to really like the FastStart even just for a immediate experience of build out. I'm like, okay, hey, I've got this idea. Now I'm going to class building a web page as a sales experience. We'll call it that. New web page. Whoop. And coming down immediately to our results group, let's say that we are going to have, the final one is the front end link, front end page. We've got our back end page. We've got our final draft copy. Put that at the top. Well, and then we've got our first draft copy. And then we have our, what else have we got? We've got our, let's call it our variables. So we'll just rearrange these so it's a little bit more obvious in terms of what's going on here. Okay, but immediately I've now got my variables that I'm going to need to produce, my first draft copy, my final draft copy, my back end page, my front end page. Let's say down here we've got images and video, and I might just keep it simple. We've got graphics, folder, and just put a link there. We've got images and folder, and finally I'm just going to have my video and folder. So as we've discussed already, these could be built out into results groups, but nonetheless, looking at what we've got here immediately, even without any processes, I can see that I'm going to need my variables. What's going to be on the page? What copy is going on? What's the first draft? What's the final draft? The back end for the build out and the front end, and then my graphics, my images, and my video. So thinking about that, even at this point, I'm going to create my first draft page copy. And for that, the variables need to be done, and insert variables into template. Again, this could be done with AI. You might have your variables and drop them into ChatGPT. So that's going to give me a first draft. And then I might even do a rough immediate edit. Okay, so that is my first draft created. So I'm going to have this one done. I'm going to have this one done at this point. So what would be next? Okay, final draft copy. So we can edit final draft edit of copy, and this might be edit, this might be then feedback, send to the boss, send to yourself, and then final changes. Okay, and at that point, now we have this done. What else do we need? We need our images. So let's go images and graphics. Select / create images and graphics. Okay, so we've got images and we've got graphics. And then we might have the same for video, create video. So that, I mean, that could be raw shoot. That could, well, actually before that, we're going to need the words for video. We're going to need the raw video, and we might need the music. And then we'll end up here with the final videos down here. And then finally build out the pages. Okay, backend, insert to backend. And then send a final link for feedback. All right, now having a look at this, essentially right now, let's condense all this just up so we can see what we've got here. But now thinking about the production, we've got our back end that's going to be done, our front end that finally is going to be done. We're going to end up with our graphics, images, and our folders all done. Sorry, graphics, images, and videos all done. And we've done that by creating our first draft, which required the variables and inserting them and an immediate edit, then a draft, and then an image and graphics and video. Now notice that all three of these could be handled simultaneously, that these could be, this one needs this one to be done, so it cannot be begun, but this and this might be done by other team members. Your graphics team, your video team producing these, and then finally the team building out. Now this all is just for one page. This could be replicated for funnels as well. And instead of just one page here, page 1, but you may have a similar experience where we're going to end up page 2, and then back end page, front end page, page 2, and then finally let's say that there is a page 3 that we come down, and now we have 3 pages. And typically when I do this, I am keen in my results to, I typically like having a results of the big picture stuff. So come up here in results, and I might have a funnel page build out. I personally like Giru. And we might have a master copy. So I often will build all of the copy at once so that it stays consistent and then split. So we might add in a new process here, split, copy, and then don't make any changes to that copy. Split copy, just move that into here. And now you can see that essentially you can have the entire build out of a funnel in this one thing, in this one magic board. We've got our guide, our blueprint for the whole funnel. You might have your variables up here, variables. Take them out of page 1 because they're not going to be, in fact, we don't need that here. We're not going to need that down here as well. And then they will not be in page 3 as well. All right, so you can see now that pretty much we have the ability to deploy this and build quickly across multiple team members and get this done very quickly. And you can log in as the owner and go, where are we up to? And because as you mark these done, let's say done, the images are being worked on, the video is being worked on. We're not up to building, but immediately log in, we can see a visual representation of where we're up to. This new funnel, opt-in, sales, check it, thank you. Well, let's just go opt-in, sales, checkout, thank you. So we've already got a 4-page, and that you can probably understand that there's going to be a form here and an offer or a checkout page here. So we need one more page. But essentially, as you log in and see, you're like, oh, where are we up to? Here we are here. You can see where this is done. We haven't added a due date yet. Let's set the due date for 3.5 days. Now when we come back, I can glance and say, hey, okay, cool, we're on schedule here for this. So all of that work has been done to build out your first magic board. And then we came to this idea of capturing these improvements. And so what I want to show you here is how to do that, and that is to save to library. And it will now copy all of those pages, all of those, not pages, all of those results, result groups, all of the processes. It'll copy all your templates. And now we can edit it and make any improvements if we need to. But you see, it's exactly what we worked on here. If we save it to draft, and it can stay here. But in order to get it to our library, we've got that last button, Save to Library, and that's going to bring it across to our active library. We can also do that from here. And now you notice that it is not in our, we've moved across to library by doing that. But let's come down, and what we will see is this new funnel, opt-in, sales, checkout. And we can run it from here, or I can come back to my home page and then run it here as well. Both of these are doing the same thing. Where is it? New opt-in. There we go. And I'll give it a due date, and let's make it next there, and create this. And now it is copying from the library, ready to go. If we come in here, once this little timer turns off, okay, now we are ready to roll with a brand new version of this, ready to get after it. So that is our process. And as you go through this and make improvements, maybe you might add in a link here to your template, templatelink.com. And the immediate effort, that doesn't need anything. We might have our, let's say that we're going to go to Adobe.com or Shutterstock. We might be able to find that. So already here, as we go through, we make improvements. Now, if we've done that, we do need to do one more thing, because this is improved, and that is save it back to the library, and it will add, get rid of that there. Let's make it V2. Again, it's going to end up in our draft. It's getting created. But if we just move it to the library, then we're going to have these two copies, and you're going to have to choose. This one is the better one. Now, usually it will not be on the same day, so you'll be able to pick which one is the new one. But let's come through to our sales. It doesn't hold if the filter, you've got to actively do something in order to get it to filter again. But as we come down here, we can see this is the first version, this is the improved version, and now I just want to archive this, and now I've got my improved version. So that runs through our entire process of using the MagicBoards. It's a very powerful way in order to improve what's going on in terms of your business.